She waited at the train station every single day for 10 years. Rain, snow, even on the days she could barely stand. People laughed at her. Some called her crazy. Others felt sorry for her. But nobody knew the promise her husband made before he disappeared. Emma and Daniel were deeply in love. They lived in a tiny apartment, struggled to pay bills, but they were happy together. One night, Daniel got a job offer in another city. Before leaving, he held Emma's hands tightly and said, "Wait for me at this station. I promise I'll come back." Emma smiled through tears and nodded. Days passed, then weeks, then months, but Daniel never returned. Everyone told her to move on. Her friends said, "He abandoned you." Her family said, "Stop wasting your life." But Emma refused to believe it. Every evening at exactly 6 p.m., she stood at the same train station wearing the same white scarf Daniel once gave her. Years went by. Passengers changed. Workers changed. Even the station itself changed. But Emma stayed. People started recognizing her. Some secretly recorded videos of her and posted them online. The woman who waits became famous on the internet. Still, she kept waiting. One cold winter evening, a little boy walked up to her and asked, "Why do you come here every day?" Emma smiled softly and replied, "Because love keeps promises." The boy's mother began crying after hearing those words. But the truth was far more heartbreaking than anyone imagined. Daniel never abandoned Emma. On the night he left, his bus was hit by a truck during a snowstorm. He survived for a few hours, long enough to give the hospital nurse one final message. "Please tell my wife. I tried to come back, but the hospital lost Emma's address." She never received the message. 10 years later, an old retired nurse saw Emma's viral video online. The nurse immediately recognized her face. With tears in her eyes, she rushed to the station and handed Emma a small silver ring covered inside an old envelope. Emma's hands trembled as she opened it. Inside was Daniel's final note. "No matter what happens, my heart will always return to you." Emma broke down crying in the middle of the station. For the first time in 10 years, she finally knew the truth. She used to come to the railway station every evening at exactly 6 p.m. Same white scarf, same silent eyes, and the same hope. People saw her every day, but no one understood who she was waiting for. 10 years had passed. No phone call, no letter, no news. But Emma's steps still stopped at the exact place where she had last seen Daniel. At first, people laughed at her. Then they felt sorry for her. And in the end, everyone started calling her the woman who waits. Emma's friends tried to convince her, "He left you. Don't ruin your life." But Emma would only smile and say, "He made a promise and he cannot lie." Every day she sat on the same bench. People came and went. Life kept moving. But Emma's world had stopped as if time itself had abandoned her. One day, a little boy walked up to her and asked, "Why do you come here every day?" Emma looked at the sky and replied, "Because love never forgets its promises." Hearing this, people around them went silent. Some even had tears in their eyes, but no one knew the real truth. Daniel was not just an ordinary man. He was Emma's entire world. Before leaving, he had promised her, "I will come back, no matter what happens." But that night, a terrible storm came. Daniel's bus met with the moment Emma opened it, her world collapsed. Inside was a ring and Daniel's final letter. "My heart has always been with you." And for the first time in 10 years, Emma cried without stopping. Emma stood there holding the old envelope, her hands trembling uncontrollably. For 10 long years, she had believed in one simple truth, that love never breaks promises. But in that moment, truth and illusion finally collided. The station around her felt different now. The noise of trains, the crowd, the announcements, everything sounded distant, as if the world had slowed down just to watch her pain unfold. She slowly opened the letter, and in those few seconds, her entire life flashed before her eyes. Every evening she waited, every cold night she cried silently, every moment she chose hope over reality, and now, reality had finally arrived. The ring inside the envelope was the same one Daniel had once promised her, the same ring that symbolized forever. But forever had already been broken. Tears rolled down Emma's face without control, not because she lost him today, but because she had been losing him for 10 years without knowing it. People around her didn't say a word, even the wind felt heavier. A stranger whispered, "So, she wasn't crazy after all." But Emma wasn't listening anymore. Her heart was replaying only one sentence again and again. "I tried my best to come back." That was the moment Emma understood something painful. Sometimes, love is not enough to change fate. Sometimes, promises are made with pure hearts. But life does not always allow them to be fulfilled. She had spent 10 years waiting for a future that had already ended in the past. And the cruelest part was, Daniel had never stopped loving her. He just never got the chance to return. Emma slowly sat down on the station bench, the same bench that had carried her hope for a decade. For the first time, she didn't look at the arriving trains. She looked at the empty tracks and whispered softly, "So you did come back, just not in the way I expected." Her voice broke halfway, because she finally understood. Some people don't return physically, but their love never truly leaves. Moral of the story: this story is not just about Emma and Daniel. It is about millions of people who wait for answers that may never arrive. The real moral is, sometimes closure doesn't come from reunion, it comes from truth. And truth can hurt more than waiting, but it also frees you. Life lesson/insight. Life teaches us something very hard. Not every silence means abandonment. Not every distance means loss. And not every goodbye is a choice. Sometimes people leave this world without getting a chance to say goodbye properly, and the ones who remain spend years blaming fate, destiny, or even love itself. But the reality is deeper. We don't always lose people because they stopped loving us. We lose them because life doesn't always wait for love. Final emotional closing. Emma gently placed the letter on her chest. For a moment, she closed her eyes, and in her heart, she finally spoke to Daniel. Not with anger, not with regret, but with peace. "I waited for you." Thank you so much for watching till the end. If you enjoy this kind of emotional and heart-touching stories, then make sure to subscribe to our channel, because a lot of new and powerful content is coming soon. Stories that will make you emotional and think deeply. So stay connected with us and don't miss the next story. Thank you for watching. See you in the next story.